Hey everyone, welcome back. Ready for another deep dive? Today we're tackling Cardano.
Cardano. Oh, yeah, I've been hearing that name a lot lately.
Right. It seems like everyone's talking about it, and for good reason. From what we've gathered, Cardano has seen some explosive growth recently. There's this big upgrade on the horizon called Voltaire, and then there's all this buzz about its future price potential.
Sounds like we've got our work cut out for us. Where do we even start?
Well, let's start with the basics. What exactly is Cardano? I know it's a blockchain, but what makes it different?
Okay, so in a nutshell, Cardano is a third generation blockchain platform that aims to be more sustainable and scalable than its predecessors.
Sustainability and scalability, those are definitely hot topics in the blockchain world these days, right?
Absolutely. Especially as the technology becomes more widely adopted, we need to think about its environmental impact and its ability to handle lots and lots of transactions.
Which brings us to that huge milestone Cardano just hit. Over 100 million transactions. That's a lot of activity. So how does that compare to, say, Ethereum?
It's a pretty impressive number, especially considering how relatively new Cardano is compared to Ethereum. But it's not just about the raw number of transactions.
Okay, so there's more to the story.
Right. There are almost 2,000 projects in development on Cardano right now, with over 600 of them actively being built. That's a sign of a really healthy and growing ecosystem.
Wow, 2,000 projects. That's wild. Can you give us some examples? What kinds of things are people building on Cardano?
Sure. So, for instance, there's a Teleprism, which is being used to develop secure digital identity systems. Then there's World Mobile, which is using Cardano to expand internet access to parts of the world that are currently underserved. There are all sorts of projects, from decentralized finance to supply chain management to gaming. Plus, there are over 10 million native tokens on Cardano, which also points to a thriving community.
Hold on, I gotta ask, what are native tokens exactly? Are they different from ADA, which is Cardano's main cryptocurrency?
Good question. So think of ADA as the main currency on Cardano. It's like the US dollar, right? Native tokens are like additional assets built on top of Cardano, kind of like having different tools in a toolbox. They can be used for things like loyalty points, digital art, even voting rights. They basically add a whole new layer of functionality to the ecosystem. It's pretty cool.
It's like Cardano's more than just a blockchain. It's like a whole ecosystem, a toolbox.
Exactly.
Okay, so let's talk about this Voltaire era.
Yeah.
From what I've read, it's not just a fancy name. It represents a major shift towards more community governance. Is that right?
Yeah, you're right on the money. As Cardano keeps growing, it needs a really solid governance system, and that's where Voltaire comes in.
So what exactly does that look like? How will Voltaire change things?
Well, a key part of it is this new treasury system that was introduced with the recent Chang hard fork.
Hard fork. Okay, now you're getting technical.
Sorry. Basically, a hard fork is like a major software upgrade for the entire blockchain.
Yeah,
Everyone on the network has to agree to the update, and then everyone implements it at the same time.
got it. So this Chang hard fork was a big deal because it created this treasury system.
Exactly. Think of it like a community fund, all
Yeah.
right? A portion of all the transaction fees on Cardano goes into this treasury. Then the Cardano community gets to vote on how that money is used to support new projects. So if you're a developer and you have a great idea, you can submit a proposal and the community decides whether to fund it or not.
So it's kind of like a democratic process for deciding what gets built on Cardano.
Pretty much.
All right, I know everyone wants to hear about the money. Let's talk price predictions. Some analysts are saying 80 could hit $9.27, even $20 by 2025. Others are more conservative, predicting around $3.54 by 2030. What are your thoughts?
Well, price predictions are always tricky. Remember, the crypto market is notoriously volatile.
Yeah, no kidding. But
Yeah.
I've got to ask, what are some of the factors that could drive Cardano's price up or down for that matter?
Okay, so on the plus side, Cardano's focus on sustainability and scalability could be a huge advantage in the long run, especially as more businesses and institutions look for eco-friendly blockchain solutions. Plus, Cardano has a really strong development team, and the community is super engaged, which are both great signs, but there's also a lot of competition in the blockchain space.
Yeah, like Ethereum, for example. It's still the biggest player in the game.
Exactly. And there are new blockchains popping up all the time. So it's really about whether Cardano can deliver on its promises and attract even more users and developers.
So it sounds like Cardano has a lot of potential, but it's still early days. Kind of a gamble, but maybe a calculated one?
That's a good way to put it. It all comes down to whether it can really make a difference in the real world and, actually solve some of the problems that blockchain technology is supposed to address.
Hmm, good point. And that actually leads us to something for you, our listeners, to think about. We've talked about all the exciting stuff happening with Cardano, but here's a question. Given its focus on sustainability, scalability, and community governance, do you think Cardano could actually become the leading platform for real-world blockchain applications, even surpassing Ethereum? It's something to ponder.
Yeah, that's a great question. I'm curious to see how it all plays out.
Me too. And who knows, maybe one of our listeners will have the answer someday. In the meantime, keep researching, keep learning, and we'll be back with another deep dive soon.
See you then.
Bye, everyone.